Today's agenda will be, first of all, start with why we have started. And then we are going to talk about the why gamification board games and how we have done this. And I will show just one simple game, how we did it, and from the beginning to the end. So I have the feeling why we did this and how we engage the students and the children in the classroom. And last but not least, I'm going to extend the activity and question and answer if we have time, and we'll just go over the question as many as you guys may have. So that's will be today's agenda. And why we started. So when we talk about this, and 2 years back, we want to look at some serious problems back then. And teen crime rate was one of the things just lighting my eyes. I have no idea. I was trying to do something, but we have no idea what to start with. So the crime rate on newspaper just light my eyes, and we just have seen this is according to Taiwan National Police Agency, the teen crime rate has been up for 47% from 2014 to 2021, and the majority of prison only have junior and senior high school degree in Taiwan. So that's just one question. So we have, I think Taiwan has the most rate at high school rate graduated. So I just wonder why they want to drop out and why they don't want to keep in class. And all those kids hanging out on the street may cause lots of problems, lots of issues, and which mean they may sell drugs or they may sell guns, everything. So this causes society issues. And so that's why we try to bring those kids back to the class. And we have lots of things. So and we really want to do this, try to eliminate the social problems. But after we deeply look at this, we find that social problem involve many factors are not easy to solve. For example, if you look at single question, public education, and environmental issues are all interconnected social problems. So solving one social problem may addressing multiple factors. So we cannot just look at one side. So that's why we start to talk to organizations, ask organizations, and we got lots of SMEs from the underprivileged children organization. And what we got is we got step by step that they suggest us to do this. We try to make social impact by empower a single parent family by providing project management educations. So that's how we started. And we asked lots of SME, I think about 10 of them, and we just got these conclusions. And so that's how we started in the first place. And when we talk about social impact, SME, we just realized that back then in 2021, before COVID-19 struck, and was teaching in the high elite school. They asked me to do this occasionally to bring out as the like summer camp and to energize them to bring the board game to them. So I just was wondering because I have so many thing material in my pockets to teach those elite school. I just wondering why can just we extend those high quality education provided to the school to the children from the vulnerable family, from the underprivileged family. So that's why I just started. I have all the material I had, but I just need to bring those to the kids. And we think everybody deserves the same education, no matter how poor you are, how rich you are. So no matter what, so we have to bring those things to the thing. So that's why we focus on the SDGs 4.5, and then that's how we started. And from Taiwan vulnerable family current situation, I just want back then we have a little bit research, and we found that 47% are single parenting, and 45% are grandparenting. So that's how we decide we are going to focus on the majority, which is a single parenting issue. And then we ask for organization to work with in the beginning, and so ask them if we can provide education in their company, in their organizations. And we just try to bring those kids back, and we just offer 1 or 2 days of the educations and using the board games. So that's how we did started. So we focus on the 4 organizations that offer supporting the single parent family, and then we did offering 1 or 2 class in the beginning with 1 or 2 day class and for project management class in the beginning. And 2 years back then, we find that our PMI Taiwan volunteers, they try eager to share knowledge, but they don't know how. They're unsure how to do this, and they have no material whatsoever. And they're interested in learning how to educate children about project management because they were all project managers, but we don't have no idea how to do this. And also project management can be challenging in real life because there's this all those tasks, all those process we have learned in the PM BOK, right? So it is kind of trouble us in the real life. And also concern about the fear of the failure and uncertainty about what project management entail. So these are the issues, and so that's why I decided to get a group of volunteers. I just bring that all the material I had, and then you can have like lots of the issue the training, so they are able to teach the kids, and also they learn about how to teach the kids how the education will be. So these are how we started, and we back then, and that's why volunteers keep coming back because they want to learn how to teach, and then they want to learn something from me. So that's how we did it 2 years back then before the COVID-19 struck, and just that's how we briefly we can. And our plan is very simple. We really don't want to teach them the real project management in the first place. We really want them to attracting the vulnerable family children back to class. That's the most important thing. Because if they just think, oh, just another class, another boring class, they will not come back to the classroom. They just go just hanging out outside. Project management is very difficult. They have no idea what's that, so they just don't want back. Our topic in the beginning was all the programs materials, all the program topic. So we try to make it fun, try to make it attractive to the vulnerable family children to get back to class. So that's how we did it in the beginning. And then we really want to try then not getting them into too deep into the knowledge so they can able to attend on a regular basis. We just don't want them just come back one time and just, oh, it's so boring and just drop out. So we don't want to do that. And then we are going to pick up some ask them to pick up some power skills or soft skills they don't have. And we have the change, they want to change their behavior. And then we're going to find their own way of working, building confidence in themselves, and being the leaders. So these are the steps we have tried to do to begin with, because we try to find that is the difference between the elite school kids and the vulnerable family kids are they are just lack of confidence. The poor kids or the underprivileged kids have no idea how to stand in front of a class, how to be the leaders, so just keep in the corner, very shy, and have no idea how to do this. And when I taught in the elite school, all the kids are trying to raise their hand, like in people like the kids in the United States. They just try to keep their hand and they just try to go to the fun and to express themselves. So those are the teams of five. And I just want those are the same kids. We are talking about the same kid in Taiwan. So why cannot we just bring those kids back, able to speak themselves, express themselves, more like leadership, communications that we have taught in the class, and to bring those back to them, and they're able to lead the team, lead everybody in the classes. So that's the thing we are trying to do this. So first step will be attracting the vulnerable kids to the class, attending regular basis, and pick up the power skill, and then they can change their behavior. They'll be able to track and able to go in front of class to speak for themselves and find their way of working and building confidence in themselves. So that's the most important part we are trying to deal with, and so that's how we start to focus on this. And why we use board game and why use gamifications? I don't have so much to share. I don't want to do the survey here. And I believe many of the class and many of you have already encountered or already experienced the gamification in your office, or have already experienced how the gamification study or office work in your office already. So these are not new, and these are really a new trend. And the global gamification education markets really grow up from 2024 to 2029 is going to be over 36.4%. So this is going to be quite large. And people, we are going to use the gamification and board game much more, and to engage the office colleagues and engage the students to able to come to class to teach, to able to more engage in the class. And the trend will be like this. The publication is getting more than this will be a new trend. So you will see that's much more trend after COVID-19. Of course, after COVID-19, we found that lots of the publication has go up every years. So that will be the key in the future, and that's why we brought this to here. And then we really want to then to really want those kids to have fun and using the as a catalyst to make sure they are able to learn something from us and from the project management, because we saw this is the most useful skill in the future, especially in the AI era. So just want to ask one question. So has your company began the implementation communication strategy? So just let me know in the comments if your company have already begun to implement your gamification strategy. So just type one or type two or type EA and already started. So just type anything in the comments. Just let me know. Okay, and I'll just keep going. And just as I mentioned before, from the elite school, we have that congenital development. The board game enhance the critical thinking. That's what they asked me in the beginning with. A board game enhance the critical thinking and problem solving and strategy planning skills and essential strive in the AI era. So that they want me to do this. They want to bring those board games to the class because they want to bring the strategy thinking. Because if you teach them use just textbook and ask everything else is just board for them. So they are going to use it, able to go through with the quite fun in the book and thinking. And the picture on the right, but this is what I did when I was teaching them in the summer camp. The life skill and also life skill, the board can simulate the real life scenario, teaching decision making and resource management, which are vital for navigating the AI challenges. So these are life skills we want to bring to the class. And because I think most of the elite school have realized that those kids have become nerds. So they try to bring the old life skill to the class, able to understand how society goes, how those issues goes in the issue class. So the benefits we are going to look at this is we try to do the benefit will be boost the brain activity, the able to improve the brain development by the enhancing quickly and effectively the brain process informations, and also encourage physical activity. So this will help the kids to stay active and also benefit the regular exercises, and also to make the kids more engaging and producing by incorporating game like elements, and also help students with the different needs, including those with the autisms, and also able to work from home because it can go anywhere. So these are the benefits of gamification, and that's from the studies. And we really want to do this, and we want to make sure they have the ideas to get all the benefits using for the underprivileged students. When we talk about the broken, when we talk about the educations, we don't want to make them too hard. This is for experience. We want them just right. We want them to have just right experience, not too hard, not too easy. Just how people have to, if they think it's too easy, they just drop out the class. They just say, oh, this is too boring for me. It's for the kindergartens. I don't want to do this. And if that's too hard, they just say, "Oh, this is not for me," and project management is too hard. I don't really want to go with. So this is the thing we just keep just right, and we have just trust us. We have so many experience, and some we just take lesson learned from every single time. So we just make sure the kids are getting the right information. It's just right amount of work they have to do, and so that's how in the beginning we have lots of frustrations, kids just saying, "Oh, this is too hard," and they just don't want to come back anymore. We have been making lots of adjustments, making lots of the things to make sure that this material is able to get everybody to get engaged and have fun. So and then this kind of thing. So we have lots of failure. It's not like we did it successful in the beginning with, but we have lots of failure, and then after 2 years, we think we find the right thing, right route to go. And fortunately, we did. And most of kids are coming back every single year. And so this is how the development of competitiveness or engagement through gamification. From the beginning, the kids are just trying to give up. They just find the studies too hard, learning's too hard. Unprivileged kids like that. They don't have material like the rich kids. They don't have the material like they cannot go to school, attend school because they have to help their families occasionally, or especially on the weekends or at nighttime. So they have no hope. They just feel that, or just so lost. They just give up, and so they have nothing to work. They just have no future. And then when we just start to get digging into this, when I start to get into the class, they just have low confidence in the beginning with. And then we try to make them grow and become more self-motivated. So this are we slowly from the kids just try to give up from everything. And then they have very low confidence, and they grow a little bit. And nowadays, at least 4 or 5 kids are coming back to the class regularly, and just they will always ask questions in the class and always want to express themselves in the class. So I think this is a good beginning for us. We have been working with over 300 children during this 2 year span, but actually we at least 5 or 6 children are be starting to realize that they can be the leader. And these are the good started for us, and we'll just keep going, keep digging into this, and hope more kids can bring energy and to get into class and able to express themselves and getting more soft skills and train in the class. So gamification, we have the sense of participation, ability to interact, sense of achievement, and become habits and translate into the tangible benefits. So that's how we start, why we use the gamification in the beginning with. This is going to be fun and has lots of things. There's no pressure. Just come back to have a little bit of gaming and a little bit of the board games, and then they can able to well to use little program to bring those back and then they have fun and also learn something. So that's the thing. So we have never say we are going to teach them project management in the beginning with, and but they just slowly picking up, and so that's why we are trying to work with. Just a little bit how we have done this. While we talk about when we run a program, we also do the recruitment first. We create a big volunteer resource pool and on a regular basis recruitment. This pool right now, nowadays we have 40 or more volunteers in this pool. And this pool, everybody, at least 5 or 6 can be the leader, so they can just go without me. So if I am too busy and just going around the globe, it's kind of the at least 5 or 6 volunteers able to do this without me, and they can bring the entire team to the class. And then we have a little bit of training. And what we did in the beginning of 2021, we do have lots of training. We have done lots of trainings with them, at least 1 or 2 for each week. So ensure that they are able to understand what the material are going through and why we are doing this. And then I am going to talk to the organization. What do they really need? What they really want? What program they really want to expect us to bring to their classroom? And then before the actually events, we have the dry run. We have the virtual dry run. If we can, we have the physical dry run if we can. So we 1 hour virtual dry run at least 1 hour, and then we just make sure that the board game we are going to bring for this event is going to be suitable for everybody, and everybody able to teach. And then after the events finish, we have the retrospective. After each activity, we have at least 5 minutes meeting to check what we can put to do better. And we always ask the kids first, and then we ask the organizations, the teachers, to understand, do we provide enough stuff to them? Is that too hard for them? Is that too difficult to deal with? So these are the things we are trying to do the program we run. We do the recruitment first, and then we do the training, and we have done the initiation, the cooperation, and then we have dry run before each event, and then we do the ritual after each event. So these are the way we are running, and we have been doing like for 2 years. Okay. So the detail breakdown. The event will start with the children introductions. This is going to be the group events. We really want them to work into the group, not just a single guy, single player game. We want them to work in group. So we break them into the groups, and we ask them to introduce to each other. This is the most important part. So each time children to come into the class, so they have to different to introduce to each others. And then we have the group formations. And then we ask them to we break the group for them, or they can form their own group. It's really up to them. But we will separate the siblings to different groups. So in case they just be forming a little group and they don't just do nothing. So group formation will be the second one. The first one will be ask the children to introduce each other, and then we'll have the game good formations. The third part will be the establish the ground rules because we'll let the kids to know what can do, what cannot do in the classroom. We just don't want them just keep coming to the class, just keep coming to the front stage and just or have fight or something like that. We don't want to do that. And then we have the little bit icebreaker activity before we actually start the program. And then we run the education program. We'll bring one or two programs in the classroom, and then we have the program sessions. Education program is really like the program preparation for the program. For example, if we want to play the program of the penguin, then we'll play the penguin stories beforehand, understand why the penguin acting like this way, and so they have a little bit understanding about penguin, and they have a little bit fun, a little bit exercises. So before the board game session actually started. And last but not least, the most important part is we'll ask the kids ritual. You can see on the right side pictures, the kids are actually standing in front of class, and I will give them the posters, and they will just try write down all the questions and the answer they want to provide it in the end of the class, and they actually present in front of the classroom. Kids retrospective are very important, so they will actually talk to the class how they learn, what they have done, and what is most fun they have been experienced during those activities. These are the detailed breakdown we have been every single time. And these are the ritual canvas we have been just one sample ritual canvas. For example, this time we ask for the board game for like the baseball board games. And we ask them the first ball, we ask them to draw the team names. So every team after they got the team formation, I always ask them to give their team a special name for this team. So I will ask them, and then we'll ask them what's the best lineup for them, and then we'll go. The most important thing is we'll ask them what is your winning strategy. No matter how much you lost, how much you win during the exercises, but we still keep it ask what is your winning strategy? Why you keep winning? Why you keep losing? They will try to make sure how to get it out themselves and understand what's going on during the game. But this is most important. Without canvas, board game just games, and they will learn nothing from the games. And so that's why we always have the ritual canvas. But we change a little bit style after times. These are the beginning we use the ritual canvas in the beginning with. And nowadays we just keep it simple. And we just ask these four questions. What did you enjoy the most during the activities? What did you dislike the most? What is the biggest problem the team have encountered? And now that we play with AI, we play the game with AI. So we ask them, what are your thoughts on working with AI? So these are the things we are actually right now, instead of the winning strategy, because some kids cannot understand what the winning strategy is. Or so that's why we bring this new canvas back to the classroom. So we just ask simply, did you enjoy what did you enjoy the most? And what did you dislike the most? Why did you dislike the most? What is the biggest problem that the team encounters? And also the quality team working with AI. So these are canvas we have done, and we ask the team, no matter what, we have to ask them to construct those posters, get ready to speak in front of the class. So this is very important. So our volunteers will try our best to get them ready before they get on hand. But nowadays, after two years, like as I mentioned before, like at least 4 or 5 kids are able to do this without help, support from our volunteers. And this is one game design example. So I almost out of time. So you guys can read after the session. So Rhino Hero is actually the one player game. We play against each other in the team, but we modified a bit. We try to make sure that be a cooperation game. So we try to make sure that the team that's built the highest building and actually the Rhino standing on it able to win this game. We just see both teams just try figure out how to get the highest building ever be built during the exercises. And outcome. So we have during this 2 years span, we have over 340 students come to our classroom. And this year we have been to the elderly home daycare center, and we ask them the children, especially those children who are actually in good performance in the daycare center, to actually play the game with the elderly so they can learn from each other. So now that we just become the intergeneration exercise right now. And we have worked with over 6 organizations, over 600 hours. And this year, we just pledged, we all have over 1,000 hours done, and over 40 volunteers in our pool. And during this 2 year span, we have introduced over 30 board games alone. And some of them I just made by myself, and to make sure they have the fun and not just a single board game. And these are the feedback from the organization. So you can just read it. Just pick one of them. Just children are concentrated and patients have noticeably improved. And that's this commitment from both kids and parents is very remarkable, with many children returning regularly. The number 3, these are the most thing we want to hear. We really want them to, all the children, all the parents will bring those kids back to the class regularly so they can learn more. They just don't want hanging out outside on the street, so that will waste their time. And these are from volunteer. I didn't force them to do the survey. I just put the survey, and they just this is how they got 100% think this program is very successful. And they especially on the feeling and satisfying. So both end, volunteer and kids are both feeling and satisfying. So that's why we like to keep coming back to teach them, to teach your school, teach you this class. And since 2022, what we have do this, we have over 300% increase in total volunteers here in Taiwan alone, and increased 50% of the event participation rate, and 24 hours. Usually one event, our volunteer will be filled up. All the spot will be filled up in 24 hours. And we build lots of connections, and there's many organizations really want to work with us, and this is much fun exercise in Taiwan. Simple game, probably we don't have time to go over a little bit, but this is a game story cube, and probably you guys already know this game. Just like a 9 cube, and we can make the story out of this. You see the 9 story cube based on the what the dice told us. And these are the game cube I invented by myself. So this I use a little bit because I'm a tech guy, right? And AI guy. So I just wrote a little bit programming so I can able to change the dice so they are able to do this online or offline. These are the simple game cube I just modified a little bit by myself. And the most important thing is nowadays we just ask them work with AI. So they try to use all those cube phases, they make up one stories. And the story, we ask AI to be the judge. So we record their story, and just like that on the left-hand pictures, we record the stories, and then we transcribe the story, and then we put into ChatGPT, and then to ask ChatGPT to be the judge, and to ask which story will be the best. So they can have a little understand. So the kids can understand how to work with AI, what AI really favors, what they really like, why my story is not the highest score. So these are the stories they're going to have. So we always ask, for example, this is story 1. We have narrative qualities and originalities. So AI will give us some points. So so the kids will understand how they can improve next time. And the engagements we are doing the intergeneration activity right now. And so we are going to impact social impact, and we have lots of intergenerational gap because there are lots of elder people, and we have the education challenge. So we brought the kids back to the elderly so they can have fun, so they can have fun together. And these are beneficial and practical examples. So these are the things we are trying to do. These more extensive activities we have tried, and it's more fun. And also last time we have been asked to speak in Africa's conferences. We have actually built some little bit of this story cube, so made for the Africa, so they can able to use this in their classroom to able to like us. So if any of you really want to try in your chapters or try your organization, just let me know. So we have lots of experience. We can actually extend this activity to your chapters or organizations, so you guys can able to use it.